Hey, YouTube, what is up? Radar 25 back again. Back at it again, my co-host Michael. We're here to give you another takeaway video. It's gonna be our 2 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. It was a pretty decent show, Monday Night Raw. A lot of wrestling compared to other episodes of Monday Night Raw.
No flashbacks. No flashbacks.
Exactly. No flashbacks. So it was a good to see that. Good change of pace for Monday Night Raw. It did drop in the ratings, but overall, I felt like it was a pretty okay show. We're building towards Money in the Bank with the qualifying matches for the women this week, qualifying matches for the men next week. But guys, before we get into the video, I want to remind you guys, drop a like on this video. On my 2 previous live streams, where I live stream Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone, the Friday Night SmackDown from last week. Drop likes on those videos, and if you're watching, guys, you're not subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button and also that notification bell so you guys aren't missing anything when I go live or when these takeaway videos drop or any other types of content I'm throwing out there. Please do follow me on social media, Twitter and Instagram, links in the description below. Also pop on the bottom of the screen my tag. So without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video. 2 takeaways from Monday Night Raw.
Oh, hell yeah.
Guys, the opening segment was a promo by Drew McIntyre. He came out, kind of good babyface promo. He feels, he comes off as very humble as the fact that he's champion and everybody's excited about it and all that stuff like that. He gets interrupted by Andrade and Zelina Vega, and they play on the fact that they had a previous matchup in NXT when Andrade became NXT champion. He took out
by defeating Drew.
Yeah, and also tearing his bicep in the process. Obviously a mistake, but they played it as as the torn bicep was at fault. Andrade was at fault for the bicep being torn.
As they should.
Yeah. So we're gonna see. They set up a match later on in the main event: Andrade versus Drew McIntyre, champion versus champion, U.S. champ versus the heavyweight champ. But we're gonna jump right into the first takeaway of the night, because you're going to see them all throughout the show, and it's the creation of a new group, a new faction.
The Salinas Table, we're unofficially calling it right now.
Yeah, Salinas Table. We'll put that on the top. Salinas Table is takeaway number 1 because it starts here and it plays throughout the night, and it's the stable of Andrade, Angel Garza, and the newcomer Austin Theory. I am excited because they lack factions in WWE.
We love factions. So.
Yeah, with AEW having so many and
they got
WWE
so
having
many
none. NXT has, Undisputed Era. Other than that, not really much else. But it's good to see a faction like this, especially 2 younger guys in Theory and Garza with a veteran of Andrade. He may who knows?
Like a young vet too, not like a grizzled, but a young vet.
I mean, so much work he's done in Mexico and stuff like that. So maybe this may help Garza and Theory stay more relevant for a longer amount of time, so they won't get kind of lost in the shuffle.
And don't forget with Zelina on the mic, that's a solid mic piece that they can all work with, because some of the guys struggle with English. Austin Theory's from Georgia, right? I think I'm right. I think it's from Georgia.
From Atlanta,
yeah. So he perfectly fine with English. So the other 2 guys are struggling like a little bit.
Yeah, they speak broken English. Garza and Andrade being Hispanic.
With Zelina being like the good mic, we know she's good on the mic. She's quick. She's funny. She's it comes through her. She has it, so it's good. So it's definitely a good manager. And I love the old school Bobby Heenan family style that they're doing right now with this little stable.
Yeah, because it's a stable with a manager, and she manages all 3 of them. And whenever they come out, she's there. You'll see later on they all have singles matches here in the show, and she's at the commentary booth for all of them. Yep. Except the main event that she's at ringside. But good to see something different. Hopefully this catapults Andrade to world title contention eventually. And I would like to see Angel Garza or Austin Theory. Now, I think Austin Theory is a little bit too young, but Angel Garza as a United States champion, which would be cool. And then maybe he could eventually Andrade maybe even win that world heavyweight title, which would be cool to see.
Day. We'll see.
Maybe
he's got to work his.
He was. I thought he was awesome as NXT champion.
Oh yeah, he was awesome.
So. Maybe they do the same thing. I don't know. I mean, it's still probably a ways away, but it would be cool to see him as WWE champ, or at least just catapult him into contention for that title. So obviously this sets up the match later on in the night. Champion versus champion, Andrade versus
title versus title, or maybe not title versus title.
No, so just champion versus champion. The title's not on the line. Okay. Next thing on the show quickly was first matchup in qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank. It was Asuka versus Ruby Riott. I thought this was a really nice match. Hard hitting. They both got the time to shine, but I do like Asuka seeming more aggressive and not as as they made her seem since that loss to Charlotte at WrestleMania all those years, a few years ago. So good to see that. Asuka gets the win, so she's the first person to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank, and we'll see that play out later on. Guys, next thing in the show, well, before this, they had MVP Lounge in the back, and all he did was announce the next 3 qualifier matches for next week. 3 qualifier matches for the men's Money in the Bank. Yeah, very random. One of the matches is Murphy versus Rey Mysterio. Another one is Alistair Black versus Austin Theory. Yep. And then the third match was Apollo Crews versus MVP of all people for a qualifier match. So we'll see what happens. Maybe MVP gets his shot and he gets inside that Money Back
skeleton crew. Talk about a skeleton crew.
Yeah. So with that being played, here comes Alistair Black having a match against Oni Lorcan. This was a good match. They both complement each other well because they're very physical and great kicks, obviously, and knee strikes from Alistair Black. Love the Black Mass kick. Awesome. I really like when he sets it up with the foot and he kind of holds the guy with his foot and then sets him up for it. Really like it. But Alistair Black gets the win here. Solid match. Really enjoyed it. Good thing to see on Monday Night Raw. Oni Lorcan, don't sleep on him. I mean, he's not anything super big, but he's a good, solid.
He's a hell of a hand. He's a hell of a hand.
Yeah, which may hurt him because he eventually. Yeah, one of those guys who just loses to everybody. Yeah.
Like a Dean Malenko type or something like that. But no, he's been on NXT and Raw and SmackDown for like last month. So
yeah. I mean, he's one of the guys there, so they're using him. Next thing, second match in the women's qualifiers for the Money in the Bank, and it was Shayna Baszler versus Sarah Logan. This wasn't really a match because Shayna Baszler beat the shit out of Sarah Logan really quickly with she had the over the top and was beating up with the hammer fist, and then she ended up looking like she broke Sarah Logan's arm by stomping on it. Yeah, she stomped on it when it was at a weird angle, and then the match was called off at that point. So I mean, this wasn't a match, but it's to show how pissed and how dangerous Shayna Baszler is because she lost at WrestleMania.
Keeping her strong.
Keeping her strong. So she qualifies by default because Sarah Logan's unable to compete. So she qualifies. So the field so far is Asuka and Shayna Baszler. Already right there, that's 2 top heavy hitters in this match going after Becky Lynch's title, basically. But this basically just had her come off. Shayna Baszler's a badass and pissed off that she lost, obviously, at WrestleMania. Next thing on the show was Akira Tozawa versus Austin Theory. Fine match.
Salinas Table.
Yeah, you keep saying Theory on Raw, no longer in NXT as of right now. That could change, but
it's getting quite the push.
Theory gets the win. He hits the ATL to win. Beat Tozawa, and then here comes Andrade and Garza, and the beatdown ensues, and they beat down the 3 guys beat down Tozawa. So there you see the stable in full effect right there.
Yep. They did a horseman on Dusty on that, and it's straight jump.
And then the next match is Tahiti Miles versus Angel Garza. This is a quick match, pretty much a squash. Garza gets the win.
Yeah, looking real strong.
Yeah, and then here comes Andrade and Austin Theory, and the 3 of them beat down to Tahiti Miles.
Yep, same old thing.
Yeah, so it's good. They were all over the show. They had a backstage segment.
They were literally. I think at con they were on 7 segments. Like that was a lot.
It could have been. They had the backstage stuff, and then they had the 2 beatdowns. So they've been prominent throughout the whole show. That's why they were their first takeaway in the beginning of the video that this team was going to be all over the place. Next thing, third match of the night for the qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank, and it was Kerry versus Nia Jax. Kerry got squashed. Nia Jax gets the win. They're keeping her super dominant, super strong.
As they should. Monster. Yeah, that's the way you should always keep her. Keep her monster. Make it difficult for baby faces to beat her. Like they did her so good at NXT when Bayley was champion. They need to just go back to that where she was a monster. Keep
her dominate. But she qualified. So now you got Asuka, Shayna Baszler, and Nia Jax. That's a monster crew for the first 3 entrants to the Money in the Bank ladder match. So
and if you want to watch real quick, if you want to watch the promo with Asuka and Sane just before that match, she looked like Rita Repulsa. She literally looked exactly like Rita Repulsa.
True story.
Same outfit.
Yeah,
literally, she's Rita Repulsa.
Yeah,
that's her gimmick. They were like, "You're Rita Repulsa, damn it!" That's what she is.
I know that's a Power Rangers reference, so that's what she is. Guys, next thing on the show was just a throwaway match. Bobby Lashley's No Way Jose is another squash match on the show. This is where this block of Monday Night Raw starts to kind of falter a little bit because there's a lot of squash matches and quick matches.
Even when it's normal fans all over the place, this start of the third hour is always like, ugh.
Yeah, it's a lag. So we have Bobby Lashley, No Way Jose. Bobby Lashley squashes Jose. Good to see Jose on TV. I haven't seen him on Raw in forever. Actually, in a match. Last time I saw him on Raw was the whole reveal the spider reveal.
The robotic spider.
Eric Rowan. Yeah. Lashley blows him up, destroys him, finishes him, but it's all this did was like show the issues between Lana and Lashley.
He told her, shut the hell up.
Yeah, a lot of dirty looks between each other, especially at the end. So that's all it was, but nobody really cares. Next thing on the show, Viking Raiders in action against the newly formed tag team of Ricochet, Cedric Alexander. A team I'm excited about. I mean, okay, so it was a fun match. You know, it was competitive. Ricochet, Cedric Alexander look good as a tag team, but Viking Raiders get the win. It is kind of disappointing to see this team lose in their first outing.
First time out.
Like official tag team, but they put them against like one of the top tag teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but like it would have been a good way to start off beating them and getting a maybe not number one contendership. I don't know.
That's the problem, because if you have them win, then they're already like
or just start them against somebody else.
I would have had them against a jobber tag team.
Yeah. Oh, only Lorcan and
Danny Burch. The guys, one of Shane Thorne and Thomas and Brendan Vink. Those guys are always around.
Those guys
have them
like do that. Like you had them come out in the matching gear. It looked like a good 1980s, 1990s tag team coming out. So all right, I'm excited for this. They had matching choreography. Yeah, when they came in from their entrance, it was awesome. And then you're just like, fucking lost? Are you kidding me? Like I just feel bad for Ricochet. A month ago, he was in Saudi Arabia going against Brock, and now he's like he's lost all. He hasn't won since.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Viking Raiders are the top of the division basically for the most part, and you know, again, they should have probably faced somebody differently to have them debut as a tag team. But they did put up a good fight. So, you know, and they did hype them up afterwards, the announced team that, you know, that they're like a strong tag team, and they look to, you know, whatever. It's not like they don't take a loss. They take a loss, but they don't really take a loss because they look good while doing it. So it's kind of that mindset.
It's your first time out. It's like your first official. I know that they had a match last week together, but this is like the first time where it's like they were officially a tag team.
But I mean, now they need to be prominent on Raw and prominent on Raw and win some matches from now on.
Yeah, for sure.
Excited for that team. Next thing, guys, it's the main event, and it's takeaway number 2 because of what happens after the match. So throughout the night, we've had these really weird, kind of pervert-looking Seth Rollins promos because he's kind of standing, staring off in the distance, kind of look like a pervert.
And in the weird dark room, just in
the weird dark room in the back.
Believe in the Messiah.
Now, I did like the fact that in one of his promos, he says, your Messiah has risen, playing off of, obviously, this past Sunday was Easter and, you know, the resurrection of Jesus Christ. So he's playing off of that. I do like when they do these kind of religious things because it's edgy, it's controversial, and it gets you got a little more invested because you're like, oh, shit, they're actually playing into that.
I mean, Austin 316 is like, it's the biggest star ever.
You know, so I do like when they do that. Like, you know, CM Punk Straight Edge Society was kind of similar. He's kind of like a cult leader and kind of like a Jesus figure to his supporters. But, you know, this is Seth Rollins doing that, and he basically said he's going to stomp out any non-believers. So, you know, we're wondering where he's going to play in. He's going to play in right here, which is our second takeaway, and is Rollins versus McIntyre. So the main event
thank God, it's not a big show.
Yeah, right. The main event is champion versus champion. It's a good, solid match. It's playing towards the torn bicep a lot. Looking like Andrade trying to tear it again.
They work the arm a lot of submissions with the arm. It's good. Just like I like context like that. Like it's just like you bring it back with the continuity of a match from like 3 years ago,
which WWE doesn't do a lot. They don't do that a lot.
Like they don't like to, especially with NXT. Like they kind of leave NXT as its own thing. I guess now that they're on Wednesday nights losing to AEW every night, they're trying to build NXT up and try to throw that in there. So that's good. I thought it was a good match. I love Andrade in the ring. Drew looked strong. Drew looked good. And for a big guy, he does a really good job of like playing like the hurt baby face. And just,
well, I mean, because he did have a lot of interference by Garza, by Theory, by Vega. So he's playing against the odds. But you're right. He does do a good job of like being the underdog a little bit, even though he's such a massive dude.
He's so intimidating looking. He's just like so freaking huge. It's like, but he does a really good job of it. So good start. Way better than last week with the fucking Big Show bullshit. So I'll tell you that much right now. This was the worst. But no, it was a good match. And then he wins the match.
McIntyre, gets the win, hits the Claymore kick, gets the win, and then he's celebrating in the ring. Garza comes in, chop block. And then after that, well, I said Rollins' music hits, right? He's celebrating, Rollins' music hits. Here comes the chop block from Garza. Rollins gets in the ring, hits a super kick, and then hits 2 stomps and then stares down at the title. So that's the next feud upcoming, probably leading into Money in the Bank. Rollins, McIntyre. Super excited for this feud.
Yes, that's a great feud. Like
Seth
if this is done right,
so much better.
Yes, and then this is done right. You can make this 2 months, 3 months. It could be a big time feud, good program. Especially hopefully once this whole crap starts clearing up, you get the Authors of Pain in there, and you get Buddy Murphy back, and you just make that crew, get the crew back together, and make it even more difficult for
because there'll be a lot of beat downs and shit like that.
Like that's good. Like you can really catapult
and another faction. They bring that faction back, you know.
Yes,
and,
yes.
I don't want it to be like faction like how they do when it was that faction of Monday Night Messiah and his crew versus like a makeshift faction in Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders and the Street Profits. I don't have to do all that. You could just do the one babyface against the entire faction type of thing.
Yeah.
It gets a lot more
believable. It gets more sympathy, and it's believable because he's so huge that he can probably take a lot of those guys on. So that's going to add more things, and just let's get Drew to make a good and strong run and be the guy, because the WWE needs a guy. They need a fucking guy. They don't have a guy.
Yeah.
So
and this is going to be Drew's first major feud as champion. Great guy to pick in Seth Rollins, especially with the way he's been playing off of the fact that he's a different demeanor since he lost to Kevin Owens at WrestleMania. Yeah. And like I said, those kind of pervert-looking promos he was cutting in the back when he was just staring
super perverted.
Perverted. Yeah, it was fun.
I was like, who's he looking at?
Yeah, like he looked weird. It was creepy. But then when he did the whole thing of the Messiah has risen, I thought that was awesome. And the continuation of playing off that religious aspect to it is cool. And like that, like when he did the sermon on Monday Night Raw, and and they said once again his career has been crucified because he lost to Kevin Owens. So it's cool stuff that they're implementing. And then he
just in time for Easter. Yeah,
and then he drops the stomps on Drew McIntyre. So we're excited for that feud, guys. But that is the end of Monday Night Raw. Pretty decent show. A lot of wrestling, which is kind of strange right now for SmackDown and Raw.
And no flashbacks again. No flashbacks. Thank God.
Which is good. Thank God, because I don't know how many more they could do. It's pointless. It's worthless. Use ESPN for that. Use FS1 for that stuff. You want to do
anything.
Replay a show.
That's why we have the WWE network. Just let us go.
The network is there. You want to
have that very reason.
Yeah, why give free matches away so you have people subscribe to watch them?
And if I want to watch them, I'll fucking search for them. I don't want to see them in the middle of a supposedly live show, but it's not live, but we know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and this is good because we're gonna have more wrestling because WWE was made an essential work for.
It was, in Florida,
for Florida. So
we're gonna see some.
They're gonna be around.
We'll be around for at least the next 30 days. So that's the end of the show. Monday Night Raw, like I said, decent episode. Only 2 takeaways, but it was what it was. Shit that sucked. Bobby Lashley. His match against No Way Jose. Not anything against Bobby Lashley, but just the storyline itself. It's run its course. Pointless. Nobody cares about him and Lana anymore. Break that shit up. Have Lashley go away for a little bit. Repackage him. He comes back as something different.
Again,
maybe with a mouthpiece or some shit like that.
We saw that already, and it just wasn't.
But a better manager or somebody that's more quick for a guy like Bobby Lashley. You know what I'm saying? I would like to see Bobby Lashley get some type of repackaging and a push, maybe in a different different look to him or something like that. Something has to change because what he's doing right now is not working. He's not good on the mic. He needs somebody to talk for him, like a Lesnar, does. So hopefully they repackage him something different. Something to watch, guys. Tonight will be Dark Side of the Ring, new episode of Jimmy Snuka. Make sure you tune in to watch that. Watch Broken Skull Sessions, just dropped on Sunday with Ric Flair. Good watch. And let's not forget the Charlotte promo on this show. Becky also had a promo. 2 good promos. Becky basically challenging anybody that wins to come at her. Anybody that wins the Money in the Bank to come at her. And then Charlotte basically saying that she's going to humble every woman in NXT.
And Io Shirai is next. Io Shirai
is next. So we're waiting for that match when that's going to happen. We're excited for it to see. Guys, that's the video for today. Thank you guys for watching. 2 takeaways from Monday Night Raw. Remember, for those more people, do not do the job.
Later, Marks.